Hi, I'm Hugh, and we have breaking news on KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.
Due to changes in CPD policy, the Northside 4th of July Parade needs you to volunteer to help safely close down Hamilton Avenue from Ash Tree to Hoffner Park. If you are interested in volunteering, please go to northsideparade.com.
Stay tuned as we announce the winners of Happen's Peanut Butter and What contest. KMNH is there, and we are bringing you the play-by-play contest clips. Plus, breaking news is Happen announces their end of school and start to summer art carnival on June 1st.
Welcome to KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.
Thank you to United Reliance for supporting this KMNH broadcast.
Hi, I'm Jude, and we can't talk about sports in the month of May without talking about the Kentucky Derby. And the KMNH cameras were there in the home stretch. This was the closest Kentucky Derby with a 3-horse photo finish since 1947, as the horse named Mystic Dan finished the race in a little more than 2 minutes and 3 seconds, and barely won by a nose. Do you know how long a horse's nose is? I don't, so we looked it up. And according to the British Horse Racing Authority, winning by a nose can be winning by as little as 3 inches, which is about 1,000th of a second. So they had to rely on what is called a photo finish, which is a special high-speed camera set up on the finish line that can capture the winner even by a nose. But that made me wonder. This was the 150th Kentucky Derby race. If this race was run way back in, let's say, 150 years ago, how could they tell the winner? Well, it was up to one judge with excellent eyesight that sat right at the finish line. It was up to that person to declare the winner. No pressure there. But it was photographer Edward Moorbridge in the 1800s that said horse racing and other sports will depend on new technology for accurate results. A letter written in May of 1882. Moorbridge stated, "I venture to predict in the near future that no race of any importance will be undertaken without the assistance of photography to determine the winner of what might otherwise be a so-called dead heat." And he was right, but took a while. In 1937, the first photo finish cameras were installed at Churchill Downs. As I crossed the finish line for this segment, I would like to thank the Scientific American and the Nature Publishing Group for all their history information. I also want to thank Patty and Rusty Roof for sending us the Derby video. See you next time. Bye.
Northside News in 30 seconds, brought to you by KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen. And Northside Summer Sideshows are coming up soon as Northside gets ready for the 4th of July Rock and Roll Carnival.
Memorial Day weekend, we're going to be having a 2-day festival here in Northside called North by Northside, and that will be including maybe 10 or 12 venues, and it'll be a free walking festival around the neighborhood.
The sideshows are on May 25th and 26th at Hoffner Park, where Northside will be filled with music from local bands. To find out more, go to northsiderocks.com. To see more, go to YouTube and look up Happen Inc. and check out all the news.
The Industrial Revolution in the late 1870s and 1880s produced machinery that enabled the mass production of home building parts, very similar to what happens in the building industry today. As the wood lathe was developed, porch pieces and parts became commercially available from the local lumberyard. All the builder needed to do was order the parts, and they arrived by railroad within a few weeks. The builders of the day were designing using a combination of the available parts and pieces, which they would incorporate into the houses that they were building. 1870 through 1895 was the height of the Victorian period of architecture, a time frame when many of the homes in Northside were being built. The Victorian house design is really an umbrella over many different ornamental architectural styles, including the Italianate and Second Empire designs. Builders often combine several styles to suit their clients or their own personal preferences.
I'm Larkin, and this is Happen's Street Smarts. Let's walk, talk, and learn about Northside. Did you know that the Northside Telephone Exchange building was located at 4141 Hamilton Avenue, A telephone exchange is where telephone operators route calls as instructed by a subscriber with a telephone set that doesn't have a dial. The exchange was first opened in 1903. You heard it here first on Happen Street Smarts.
Saturday, June 1st from 12 noon to 3 p.m., Happen will be hosting an art carnival at the Happen Studio. It's much like Happen's cardboard carnival that you may have experienced in the past. But now there are even more games and fun built right into the event. It's perfect for ages 6 to 12 with an adult, and the perfect event to celebrate the end of the school year and the beginning of the summer. This is a free event and you don't need a reservation.
The 2024 Happen Peanut Butter and What contest was a huge success. The 15 sandwich entries had ingredients ranging from marshmallows to cranberry sauce. They were all great, and my favorite was the peanut butter waffles and sausage. But I wasn't a judge. We left it up to the real judges to decide this year's winner.
So what's it like being a judge in the Peanut Butter and What competition?
It's kind of gross because then you have to try sandwiches that you don't like, but then it's also kind of fun because there's a lot of different sandwiches and you're probably going to like a lot of them.
This year's Chef's Choice will go on the menu of Marshall and Nosh. It's the Apple Jones, made by Francis. And this year's Kids' Choice third place was Jace with his Sweet Delight. Second place was Omar with PB and Gummy. And first place was Olivia with PB and S'mores. And special thanks to Marshall and Nosh for sponsoring and judging this year's contest. Make sure to look for the Apple Jones on the Marshall and Nosh menu. And remember, for every sandwich sold, $1 goes to Happen.
Thank you for watching this broadcast of KMNH. Please let us know your thoughts about our segments in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next KMNH. Kids making the news happen.